All right, y'all, come on in. Today we're going to be looking at this Boudoir Facebook ad. This one actually looks interesting. Got some different things to it. We're going to be seeing what we're doing good here to get good results, and we're going to be seeing what we're doing bad here to get bad results. Um, and I'll be following my same 10 mistake or same top 10 most common boudoir photographer mistakes in their ads framework. You know, that I've been doing here for all the videos. And I've already taken, this picture right here is showing that I've already taken some other Boudoir Facebook ads, fixed not even all the top 10 mistakes, just like some of them. I've been able to, on average, get 2 to 4x more women actually coming through, actually coming through the ad, reading the ad copy, getting pre-qualified for literally the same ad spend, literally 2 to 4x increase. And all it comes is from fixing some of these small mistakes. I mean, these mistakes stack up. And the most important metric that we actually care about and look at is this column right here, unique CTR all. This kind of tells us if we're solving the mistakes or not, where this metric means how many women out of 100 in our city are engaging with our ad. Put another way, it means how many women out of 100 is our ad relevant to. And that relevancy is the most important because relevancy results in consideration, results in purchase. Therefore, consideration and purchase don't happen unless we got relevancy, and more relevancy means higher consideration, higher probability of purchase. And there's kind of a seesaw level here where we always want our unique CTRL to be above 6%. Every Boudoir Facebook ad I've seen and tested, they're all below 6%, which kind of leads to the ads, paying the same ad spend every day, but really getting worse and worse results every day. Whereas if we can get it above 6%, much higher chance our ad will actually do better and better over time and scale the business. And all this comes from fixing these top 10 mistakes, making sure we're not kind of making these common, easy mistakes, and instead solving them, doing everything correctly to work with human psychology, working with the meta ad algorithm, working with newsfeed psychology, specifically social media newsfeed psychology. And yeah, so the same framework I've already used here, I'll be using here for this ad. And kind of the most common thing boudoir photographers have been going through that those who've been running ads a long time is, their ad starts out good, but over time they're paying the same ad spend every day, but they're getting worse and worse results every day. Kind of just lower revenue, lower sales, fewer bookings over time with this ad. So, they're confused, they're kind of desperate. It's like, man, this was working. All right, I'm just gonna refresh my picture, refresh my creative, keep the same stuff that I've written because it was working before, and we'll just rerun the ad again. Now the problem is the ad still has the same structural mistakes that were never solved. So we're just gonna have the same thing happen again, which is painful for multiple reasons. But kind of the first thing is, obviously desperate, feeling stressed, not knowing how to fix it, or even thinking it's normal when it's actually a symptom of a deeper root cause, and it should never. Well, if we're doing everything correctly, it should never ever be happening. But kind of the second thing is, the more bad ads we have, kind of our account has like its back end own account ad score, hidden ad score. That kind of determines where our ads go for the first group of women, first tranche of women that our ads go to. And so we're kind of putting ourselves more and more in a hole the more that we do this, the more we refresh our ads with the same structural mistakes. Now, the second option is, Boudoir photographers been using in Boudoir Facebook ads agency for a long time, and they've been paying them a ton of money every month, and they're actually like, well, paying them a ton of money, paying my ad spend every month. I'm getting worse and worse results with them. What? They're stressed because they're like, should I keep paying them? Should I switch? Should I drop them? And they're thinking, well, they probably already gave me their best ads, to get me hooked. And those are in my account and those are just running. So, I could just get rid of the agency and just keep running the ads that they already put in there. Or they're like, well, man, these people just keep refreshing the ads and just give me worse and worse results over time. I can cut them out and then have more to spend on ads and just do the same thing that they're doing. So kind of two things that I see most commonly. But the problem is, in both these scenarios, the actual root cause problems for the ads doing worse and worse over time, same ad spend, lower results, ads going to worse people, lower conversions, lower ROAS over time, is not being solved. So the actual root cause problem is not being solved. So here is the actual root cause problem that everyone else is missing. So the way the Facebook, or basically the meta ad algorithm works, is our ad goes out to like the first group of women, tranche 1 women. And there's interactions with the ad, link clicks, conversions. So there's initial metrics and ad conversion data from the ads from tranche 1 women. Now this data actually is fed back into the meta ad algorithm to decide who the ads should go to for tranche 2 women, aka group 2 women or the second group of women. Now when the ads have these structural mistakes, aka these top 10 most common mistakes that boudoir photographers are making in their ads that we're going to talk about in this video today, when those are present, the metrics, the link clicks, the conversion data is all low from tranche 1 women. Yeah, I mean, we'll be getting some results, but kind of just relative to everyone else, it'll be low because we're making a bunch of mistakes. So that low data, low unique CTRL, low conversion rate, low conversion data feeds back into the Meta ad algorithm, and Meta sees, oh, this is a lower quality ad, aka giving our users a lower user experience. And user experience is literally the most important metric on Meta on Facebook, because if nobody comes back to Meta, if nobody comes back to Facebook, Meta can't sell any ads, and Meta goes out of business. So user experience scores number 1. And when our ad gets low metrics, it signals low user experience score. So as a result, our ads actually for tranche 2 go to lower quality Meta profiles that have a lower account level, or master or global level conversion rate. And what's that going to give us? That's obviously going to give us same ad spend, but result in lower results, which many, a lot of boudoir Facebook advertisers have experienced. But this is fed back into the Meta ad algorithm for tranche 2, data from tranche 2 women. This lower results than tranche 1 women, which results in us going to even lower quality Meta profiles, tranche 3. Basically, our Meta keeps pushing our ads to lower and lower quality Meta profiles, aka to people that were just converted at a lower and lower rate. It's kind of just like we're getting kind of punished more and more from the initial starting data, initial starting metrics, initial starting results, which makes sense because we're given a bad user experience. Meta kind of basically is either going to be like, all right, we will we'll show your ad if you pay us, but we're just going to show you to the lower tier profiles who aren't going to convert much, and we're going to make you pay more for the privilege of doing it because you're ruining the user experience of our users. And so we call this the downward spiral of despair, and it's always the initial tranche 1 data that's fed back into the Meta algorithm deciding who to go to for tranche 2 that triggers this. But the tranche 1 data is a result of either making these top 10 most common boudoir photographer Facebook ad mistakes or not making them. That's literally the only lever that we got. So that's kind of, option A, which, basically all boudoir Facebook ads I've seen so far The best one's been 5.5 out of 10 mistakes. Those have been the best ones. And you saw the photo I just showed at the beginning. You know, I just fixed a few of them, 2.5. You know, get down to 2.5 out of 10 mistakes, and we 2 to 4x already the amount of women coming and consuming our ad copy, becoming pre-qualified. So that's the most common scenario. But where we want to get to, the flip side, is if we have an ad where we're not making these mistakes. If we have a Boudoir Facebook ad that has 0 out of these 10 mistakes, works with newsfeed psychology, works with human psychology, gets good initial unique CTR metrics from tranche 1 women, good link click through, good conversion data. All that data feeds back into the meta ad algorithm to decide who our ad goes to for tranche 2. And we actually, because of our good initial tranche 1 beta, we actually unlock higher quality meta profiles. So our ads basically go to premium placements, where these profiles would have never seen our ads before if we had not gotten the initial good metrics on our ads and solved all of our mistakes. So we unlock these premium placements. These premium placements, kind of these premium meta profiles only see good ads, very good ads. And that is because they have a higher global or master or account level conversion rate. So tranche 1 women, we do the same ad spend per day, but we're getting more results from for these tranche 2 women, which feeds back into the meta ad algorithm again. And our ads go to higher quality meta profiles, which have a higher conversion rate than tranche 2 and compared to tranche 1. So this is our ad sustain and scale the business. Don't have to refresh creative for a very long time. So this is where we want to get to. This is where we get, basically kind of like the jet stream effect. And so everything's kind of, firing on all cylinders, but we got to do it by fixing these top 10 most common mistakes that I keep seeing boudoir photographers make day after day in their boudoir Facebook ads. So we'll start here with mistake 1 out of 10. All of ours favorites is, does it look like an ad? So we're looking at the creative, boom. Does it look like an ad? aka, does it have text on the creative? Does it have text on the image? Yes, this one does. And the reason why this is a mistake is when it looks more like an ad, we're going to have more women scrolling by, less women consuming it, consisting what we wrote. Because guess what? An organic post, someone's posting their dog or whatever, a bikini pic, whatever. There's no text of an offer on there. It's an organic post. So by making it look more like an ad, we're telling people, do not consume, do not read what I got written here. Do not scroll back up and start reading my ad copy. People got ad blindness, banner blindness, whatever you want to call it. People don't want to be sold to. And so this is a mistake because we're getting less women to scroll up here, read the see more headline, getting less women to click, open, read our full ad copy. And the full ad copies are women get pre-qualified. So we're having less women get pre-qualified, which results in fewer qualified leads, which is fewer qualified appointments. And as a result, we endure more ghosting, more price hunters, more price objections, more tire kickers. And all this results in lower sales, lower bookings, lower revenue, lower ROAS, fewer conversions from tranche 1 women. All feeds back into the meta ad algorithm. Our ads go to lower quality, aka lower converting meta profiles for tranche 2. And what we experience is same ad spend, lower results, lower revenue, less qualified prospects because we're going to the worst meta profiles. We've entered the downward spiral of despair. And our ads just kind of keep burning, churning and burning down, slowing down for tranche 3. And continues on till the ad burns out, ad dies out. Refresh creative. All right, the next 4 mistakes number 2 through 5, can happen up here in the See more headline. This is the first 2 3/4 lines on Facebook mobile. Newsfeed. This is the most important real estate. This is where actually we do all our message testing for all the placements. Because if our message isn't working here, then if we go to all these other placements, Instagram feed, IG Reels, Facebook video, Facebook profile feed, whatever, and we're scaling a mistake, an ad with a ton of mistakes, we're scaling a message that doesn't work, which means it's just going to not work on a bigger scale. That's what it means. And then also once we get the message here, we can go omni-channel, Google Ads, whatever. Well, Google Ads primarily, but the messaging we derive here can be used on all other advertising channels as well. If we got some Bing women in the house, some Bing searchers. So the other big thing here, Facebook mobile app newsfeed, is this is where most of our impressions will be happening, which again is why we test messaging here, and it gives the most characters to provide the most context to get someone to click the ... see more, which would be right here above Boudoir series. All right, this is where most of our ad impressions will actually be, is right in this placement. And we know that because if we go to the back of our Meta Ads Manager, we go on the top right, click the breakdown arrow, and then we click on placements. And then we go to the impressions column and we click it once or twice, to get it from high to low, our impressions column. Then we go on the bottom left, the summary row, this little arrow there. Click it, it'll actually bring up a menu of basically all of our ads, the whole summary of which placements had the most impressions. Facebook mobile app newsfeed, Facebook mobile newsfeed will be right there at the top. So this is where just the algorithm will be sending our ads mostly. And it's got the most context, the most space. And this real estate is so valuable because, we all got 2 lines here, we're missing 0.75 lines on line 3. But this real estate is so important because 100 out of 100 women scrolling on the Facebook mobile newsfeed will see this. Literally 100% of the women. Now the percentage of women that click, the ... see more, which will be the line right above where I've highlighted here. For a good Boudoir Facebook ad, 5%. That is a unique CTRL of 5%. Most Boudoir Facebook ads I've seen, Boudoir Facebook ad, unique CTRL between 2 to 3%. I can get it 6 to 9%. I've been able to get 10 to 14%, but that was doing many iterations of testing. But I can get 6 to 9%, which is literally no testing, literally just throwing together a see more headline up here that I already know works or will work good enough. So 100 out of 100 women will see this, but literally only for good Boudoir Facebook ad advertisers, 5 out of 100 women will see down here. So literally we get 20x more women exposed to our message up here. So this is where we got to focus and make it count. This is why we say 95% of ad spend is won or lost here in the see more headline. And we're already losing here because we're only using 2 out of 2.75 lines of real estate that we got before the ... see more and before the rest of our ad copy is hidden. So first thing we need in the see more headline of the 4 specific attributes is a who. Who are we speaking to? What is their self-label? Or if they read it, as they're scrolling, they say, oh my God, that's me. So let's see what we got here. Transform, all right, so transform in light shadow. So all right, that's solution. Passion lives in your story. Solution, let's capture it. Now I would say that's solution as well. All right, so we don't have a who here. So we don't know who we're talking to. Because if we did, we'd be saying who we're talking to, which means the people we're talking to Also don't know if we're talking to them because we're not talking to anyone specifically. So we're going to have way more women scrolling on by. Like they could be perfect for us, but we're not speaking directly to them. And here's, a marketing insight. If we talk about solution, that works if there are zero other players in the market. 1950, you were in a small town, no internet, no nothing, and there's one TV store and there's an ad in the newspaper that says, want solution? We have solution. Want TVs? We have TVs. That will actually work if we're the only game in town. But, since there's always more than one competitor, always more than one option, we need to get specific. And dude, we literally have to tell people our thing is for them and their specific situation and what they're going through, what they're thinking, what they're feeling. That's the only way to win when there's more than one competitor in a market. Well, more than zero competitors in a market other than us. So we're being less specific here, which means more women are going to scroll by, which means fewer women are going to click the ... see more, which means fewer women are going to read and consume our full ad copy, which is where everyone gets pre-qualified. So we're going to have less women who are pre-qualified clicking through. So we're having fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments. And then we endure more ghosting, more price hunters, more price objections, more tire kickers, all resulting in lower sales, lower conversions, lower revenue, lower ROAS. From tranche one women, all feeds back into the meta ad algorithm. Our ads get to lower quality, aka lower converting meta profiles for tranche two. So we got same ad spend, lower results, lower sales tranche two, less quality profiles, they're less of a perfect fit compared to tranche one. And, we're down the downward spiral of despair. Down the downward spiral of despair. Ad burns out, ad dies out, refresh creative. But it'll still have all the same structural issues and it'll go down the downward spiral of despair as well. All right, the second thing we want to have in the See More headline is a neg, aka negative experience. What are women in our city going through? A negative experience that they want to get away from. Kind of like they're on one side of the riverbank and they don't want to deal with this negative experience, so have some impetus to hop over or get over to the riverbank on the other side of the river where they're away from this negative experience and do not have to deal with it anymore. And we always lead with the neg, aka always lead with the negative experience. And here's why. It's because humans are wired to move away from a negative experience, aka a pain, and get back to a normal / no pain / neutral / homeostasis state. They're wired to do that at literally 100x the rate compared to that same human moving from a normal / neutral / no pain / homeostasis state to some state of gain or state of positive, state of pleasure. There's literally 100x difference in the probability the human takes an action between those two, from negative experience or pain to normal / neutral versus normal / neutral to some positive / some gain. And we know that because, think of us when we go to the dentist. So we go to the dentist for a 6-month teeth cleaning, 6-month checkup. And, we're paying at the end. We're at the front desk talking with the secretary ladies. And they're like, hey, are you free 181 days from now on Thursday at 6:50 a.m.? So we can pencil you in again. And we're like, well, dude, I literally have no clue, but hit me up closer to then. So when I know my schedule, I can know if I can get in here or not. Because right now, yeah, dude, I ain't got no idea. So they put us in their auto texter, auto responder. We go about our life, growing the business, booking clients, shooting clients. It auto texts us month 3, we ignore it. And it auto texts us month 4, month 5, we ignore it. And month 6 comes and goes, and we didn't go to the dentist. We didn't put it on the calendar. We didn't go. And why is that? Well, we're busy running the business, growing the business, getting more clients. we are, we are kind of like mental momentum with how we like our schedule is, kind of do the same stuff every day. Don't want to push things back. We're in the flow state. In the flow state, that's important. We don't really want to spend brain juice on, going to book some other things or change our whole schedule around. But the big reason is, going to the dentist, or we're guaranteed to have cleaner teeth, and we're guaranteed to, have either no cavities or all cavities taken care of. So basically, we're guaranteed to get cleaner teeth and peace of mind. We have no problem that's festering that could cause issues in the future. So two guaranteed gains from going to the dentist, but we don't go, we don't book for our next 6 month checkup at month 6. Now, why is that? It, dude, those positives, those gains, they're just not enough for us to take action. They're not enough for us to disrupt our schedule. They're just not enough for us to take the action to put the dentist on the calendar, go in for the appointment. And it's just not enough gain, not enough positive for the effort that, or, kind of breaking out of our regular routine. So this continues on month 8, month 12, month 8, month 10, month 12. A few more texts. We get a phone call in there. We're ignoring them all. And month 12 comes and goes. And we have missed 2 6 month checkups now, 2 in a row. Still staying. We're growing the business, running ads, booking clients, talking to leads, optimizing ads, doing shoots, editing photos, doing our in-person sales, selling albums, selling wall art. And again, dude, it's just the guaranteed gains, guaranteed positives of cleaner teeth and peace of mind knowing we got no cavities. Those 2 guaranteed gains going to the dentist, they're not enough for us to take, change our routine, take this other action, some other direction, put the dentist on the calendar and show up. Just the guaranteed gains, guaranteed positives are, again, not enough for us to take action. We're finding our normal / neutral / no pain state. Now, month 13, the end of month 13 rolls around. We're eating breakfast one morning. Munch, munch, munch. We get every bite, dude, we got some pain in the bottom right back of our mouth. One of those molars back there. Pain with every bite. Like, oh my God, dude, this hurts, dude. This is terrible. Literally every single bite. Pain, pain, pain. So we finish our breakfast. We go on with the rest of our day throughout the morning. And we still got some like residual tooth pain, or maybe it's a little bit in the jaw there near the root of the tooth. And we get to lunch. We couldn't even really focus all morning. But we get to lunch, and we eat our lunch on the left side of our mouth, because we learned from this morning. And we're chewing, and the teeth on our right are still hurting. Like they're still touching a little bit even though we're biting on the left side. And because of muscle memory, food's actually coming back over to the right side. Even though we're trying to keep it on the left side, but it's coming over. There's just even more pain at that point. Still hurting in our jaw near the root of the tooth. And we throw in the towel. We only finish half our lunch, and we're like, dude, this is terrible. I can't even focus on what I'm working on during the day today. I probably am not gonna be able to eat dinner. Probably not gonna be able to focus this afternoon. Probably not gonna be able to sleep. I gotta get this tooth pain solved ASAP. So the same afternoon, right after lunch, we call up our dentist. We're talking to them, and we're like, what? What do you mean you can't get me in tomorrow at 7 a.m.? What do you mean you're booked 3 weeks out? And they're like, yeah, dude, we're booked 3 weeks out. Um, we can put you on the cancellation list in case someone cancels, but you're not first on that one either. So we can't guarantee anything, but we can guarantee 3 weeks out. So we're like, no way, dude. I am not living like this for 3 weeks. I got to get this thing solved ASAP. And so we hang up and we call dude. We call literally every other single dentist in the city. Calling them. Can you get me in tomorrow morning? Can you get me in tomorrow morning? Can you get me in tomorrow morning? And we finally get a dentist that's like, yeah, dude, 7:15 a.m. Roll on in. So we're like, sweet. All right, I'll be there. So we barely slept at all. We're rolling in tired. Go to the dentist. This other one that actually had some availability. They do our X-ray. See, we got a big cavity over there. The right side, bottom, back of our mouth, big cavity. So they clean it out. They put that resin stuff in there. They give us the UV pen, harden the resin up, and then they give us the, tell us to bite down on the, whatever, the dental paper. Chomp down on it, changes colors to see if our tooth is too high or too low, see if they got to change the shape of it at all. And then they do the normal 6-month teeth cleaning checkup stuff. And then we're out. So we leave, we're like kind of testing, biting the air, doing some air bites, some air gum. And no pain. Cool. No pain in the jaw, no pain in my tooth anymore. Nice. We go home, we have breakfast. Reading over on that side. Dude, no pain. Nothing. Dude, back to normal. Back to my no pain state. Finally. All right, now I can get on with my life. So in this dentist example, we actually have two scenarios. The first one literally 13 months. We're in our normal / no pain / neutral / homeostasis state. And for literally 13 months, so 400 days, we have 2 guaranteed gains. Cleaner teeth and peace of mind knowing there's no festering problem that's or cavity that's going to grow into a massive problem later. We got literally 2 guaranteed gains, guaranteed positives. And for 400 days, we take 0 action. 0 action to put the dentist on the calendar, book an appointment, and actually show up. 0 action. But dude, literally one day with pain, and that same day, we're calling up everyone in the city, every dentist in the city, trying to get on someone's calendar. Get me in. What do you mean you can't get me in for 3 weeks? Somebody get me in. And so we're taking massive action, shutting down our whole afternoon, changing our entire schedule, getting this thing solved, getting out of this pain, solving this pain, getting away from this negative experience, getting away from this pain, literally just to get back to neutral / no pain / normal / homeostasis. So 400 days, we take 0 action to go from, no pain / neutral to some positive, some gain. But in one day, we take massive action to go from negative experience, aka pain, just back to normal / neutral. Just like get me back to normal. That's all I care about. We literally change around a whole day just for this, just to schedule this, and then, well, we go in the morning the next day. So in this scenario, the difference in probability that we literally take an action was 400x. What I said at the beginning was, the probability is a minimum of 100x difference. So this is what gets the humans to move. The negative experience, the pain, is what really gets the humans to move. So that is why we always lead with a negative experience, aka a pain. All right, so what do we got here? Okay, we got solution, and we got solution. All right, so we're missing a negative. So having more women scroll by, less women are feeling like we're speaking directly to them, what's going on in their brain, what's going on in their life. So we're going to have fewer women clicking ... see more. We're going to have fewer women reading the full ad copy, and that's where women get pre-qualified. So we're going to have fewer women who are pre-qualified. So we're going to have fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments. And then as a result, we endure more ghosting, more price hunters, more tire kickers, more price objections, ultimately resulting in less sales, less conversions, lower ROAS, lower revenue from tranche 1 women. And all that feeds back into the meta ad algorithm, and then our ads go to lower quality meta profiles for tranche 2. We've entered the downward spiral of despair, where we're just cranking same ad spend, same daily ad spend, but our ads are doing worse and worse results over time, and also worse and worse prospects over time, less sales, same ad spend, less sales, less conversions. Ad burns out, ad dies out, refresh creative, but ad still has all the same structural issues, so we're just gonna, next ad will just go down the downward spiral of despair as well. All right, the third thing we want to see more headlines, a positive. So as a gain, a positive, a pleasure, women in our city are saying they want basically kind of like, they're moving away from the negative on this experience on this riverbank, and they're just crossing the river simply to get away from this negative thing. But we put this other different orthogonal positive thing that's not related to the negative thing at all. So I'm going to say, oh, I don't want that. And oh, yeah, I do want this other thing. I mean, I was going to go to the other side of the river anyway, but yeah, I get this second thing that I also wanted too. Heck yeah. So we're missing the positive. Yeah, we ain't got it. Let's capture it. Nah, dude, that's solution. Positive is what women get as a result of using our solution. What they get, what they feel, what they experience, what happens after, what they get, what are they getting? What positive thing are they getting? So we don't have this, so we're missing the negative positive. So we're missing the negative positive tension in the brain, which is real specific, real specificity. And so, yeah, since we don't have that, we're not being specific. No women can hear we're speaking to them because we don't even know who we're speaking to. If we did, we'd be getting specific with who we're speaking to. So we're going to have fewer women clicking ... see more to open the ad copy. We're going to have fewer women consuming the full ad copy, which is how women get pre-qualified. As a result, we're going to have fewer women who are pre-qualified, which gives us fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments. And we endure more ghosting, more price hunters, more price objections, more flaking, more tire kickers, which ultimately results in lower sales, lower revenue, fewer bookings, less conversions, lower ROAS from tranche one women. All feeds back into the meta ad algorithm. Ads go to lower quality, aka lower converting meta profiles for tranche two. So same ad spend, lower results from tranche two women. Ads, and we're going down the downward spiral of despair already. It happens fast. It's all from tranche one data. Our ads burning out, ads dying out. We got refresh creative, but this one will be a clunker as well. Downward spiral of despair as well, because we have not fixed any of these, basically any of these core root cause problems, these mistakes we're talking about. All right, the fourth and final thing we want to have in the See More headline is a hesitation / roadblock. So, we got our bridge and river analogy. So hesitation / roadblock, what is stopping women in our city that they're saying in their brain? And yes, we test all this stuff. The data tells us where to go. We need to be able to guess, and the data tells us where to go. We are kind of like with this river that we're talking about. It's kind of like, we got a few different bridges. Well, there are a few different bridges. Ours is one of the bridges, or there's some boats, or there's one helicopter. And, for our river banks, we got something women don't want to deal with on one riverbank, then they hop to the other side, we get something they do want to deal with, they do want to have. And then there's something stopping them, some hesitation / roadblock. Maybe they don't like walking. So, all right, all bridges are out and we only got a bridge. So we're kind of out of the running for them. Or they don't want to use any engines. They're afraid of engines. So the boats and the helicopters out of running, but, oh, all right, our bridges, and we're one of the bridges. So our bridges are kind of in play now. So just say kind of a reason women are not going with other solutions. It's either something they don't want to do, that some other boudoir photographers have said, or it's something they incorrectly assume they have to do, know, say, or be, but they're incorrect about it. And we just gotta say, oh no, you don't gotta do that. So we really have to know what's going on in their brain, and yes, we test all this stuff. The data tells us where the heck to go. So we're missing a hesitation / roadblock here. We ain't got one, which means we're missing the triangle of mental tension. This is the super specificity. So we're missing the negative, positive, hesitation / roadblock, the triangle of mental tension. So yeah, we're not being specific at all here. And as a result, got more women scrolling on by, fewer women clicking ... see more to open our full ad copy, fewer women consuming our full ad copy, which is where women get pre-qualified. So we're having fewer pre-qualified women, resulting in fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments. And we have to endure more price objections, more tire kickers, more price hunters, more ghosting, more flaking, ultimately resulting in lower sales, lower revenue, lower bookings, fewer conversions, lower ROAS from tranche one women, and all that feeds back into the meta ad algorithm to decide who our ads to go to for tranche two, and we're going to lower quality meta profiles because of our low initial metrics and results of our ad going to tranche one women. And our ad's doing worse and worse over time. It's going to worse prospects, obviously, so we're getting same ad spend, less sales over time. Keeps feeding back into itself. Tranche 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ad spiraling out of control, downward spiral of despair. Ad burns out, ad dies out, refresh creative. All right, those are the first 5 mistakes that can happen in a Boudoir Facebook ad. Then we're going to move on to the next 3, which happen in the body copy. And we've got to think of some newsfeed psychology here. So, everyone, we're scrolling newsfeed. We got TikTok brain looking for the next interesting piece of content. We say something up here in the see more headline, but everyone's in fast, their brain's in fast mode, fast scrolling, looking for the next cool piece of content. But we say something up here that causes them to come back up. It has to be relevant to them. So we go put their brain from fast to slow, which is kind of like they 90% slam on the brakes, or 75% slam on the brakes. So pretty abrupt, but it's only 1 to 2 sentences up here. Not probably all that we can handle with TikTok brain. It's 2 sentences up here, and then they click ... see more, which is right above the Boudoir series here, and that takes them from slow brain at like 75% speed or 75% hitting the brake down to 100% brake or 0 speed, and we wallop them with a massive wall of text here. Wallop. And then their TikTok brain's like looking for any excuse to go because they want to be fast scrolling again. So we kind of think of our see more headline as a hook 1. And literally, because of TikTok brain, we literally have to give a hook 2 because this wall of text is too overwhelming for peeps. And we got to give them a reason to keep reading. So hook 2 is literally a reason to keep reading this massive wall of text you just got bashed in the face with. And we always want to use an authority hook, basically a why you should listen to me hook, which I also did at the beginning of this video. I showed, okay, I've been able to 2 to 4x the amount of women coming through ads with the same ad spend, Boudoir Facebook ads on my own. And okay, that was why you should listen to me. Keep watching the video. So let's see what we got here. Okay. All right. So we're missing the authority hook, aka the hook 2. So even though women click ... see more, a lot of women are going to leave. They're going to be like, man, I'm just trying to scroll, man. I'm trying to relax. I ain't reading all that. Congratulations or sorry that happened to you. I ain't reading all that. And then they keep scrolling. So yeah, we're gonna have more women scrolling on by, fewer women reading our full ad copy. And ad copy is where women get pre-qualified to see what we got is for them. And because we have fewer women reading our full ad copy, fewer women getting pre-qualified. So we're having fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments, and we endure more ghosting, more price kickers, more tire kickers, more price hunters, more price objections, ultimately resulting in lower sales, lower revenue, lower bookings, fewer conversions, and lower ROAS. And all from tranche 1 women. Our ad, all that data goes back into the meta ad algorithm to decide who our ad should go to for tranche 2. And our ads actually go to lower quality, lower converting meta profiles for tranche 2. And we spend the same ad spend, but we get less sales, less conversions, less quality peeps. They're not as good fit as tranche 1. And we're in the downward spiral of despair that feeds into itself, feeds into itself, feeds into itself, down, 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 down. Ad burns out, ad dies out, refresh creative. All right, the second out of three things we want to have in the body copy is a story/narrative. We want to show people we understand them. We empathize with them. We know what's going on in their life. We see them. We know what the heck's going on, which signals relevance. Remember, relevance, consideration, purchase. Relevance that we are the solution for them in their specific situation. And the story/narrative is actually punch 2, whereas punch 1 is up here. Now a little bit more of the story/narrative. This is like writing the movie scene. This is, this is the write the movie script. Like we got a third person camera following someone around. Plus the reality TV cutscene where it's face onto the camera. They're talking about what they're thinking, what they're feeling, what happened in the last clip that we all just saw. It's that is what's going on in their life. What are they thinking? What are they feeling? Where is this whole thing going? And I also did this at the beginning of the video, talking about, Boudoir photographers running their own ads. Ads keep doing worse and worse over time and kind of crash and burn, feeling desperate. They got to refresh the creative. They don't really know what's causing it. They assume it's normal, but they still don't like it. They'd rather have the ads just kind of work as good as when they turn them on. Or a boudoir photographer using an agency, stress paying them a ton of money every month. They probably already gave them their best ads. So their best ads are probably already in the ad account. So going to just cut out the ad agency, just keep running theirs because they're just refreshing creative of the most recent ads because we're just still getting worse and worse results over time. So that was, a little bit right in the movie scene, empathizing. A little bit of the, reality TV, whatever, cutscene, whatever we want to call it. And now for the reason why we call it the punch 2 down here in the ad copy. It's because up here, see more headline, this is the punch 1. This is the meet them in their brain with the conversation they're having with themselves. What is going on in the brain? And when we can, we want to get 4 out of 4 here. 4 out of 4 specific attributes will be the most specific ad literally they've ever seen in their life. Not just for Boudoir, literally any other ad, any other service, any other offer will be the most specific, guaranteed. Unless, someone else in our city is already working with me. But because of that, dude, even if they wanted to, they could not stop themselves from clicking ... see more. Because they're like, oh my God, dude, I don't want that thing. I do want this other thing, and I don't want to have to deal with these things. And they're speaking directly to me, kind of my self-label. They got to click see more. That's punch 1. And then here we need the punch 2, where we got to get the movie scene correct, the movie scene of their life. What's going on? And we got to get this 1-2 punch correct. The first reason is 5% of the reason. We got to get specific because it allows us to stand out. Here's some newsfeed action for you. So the way the ads work on Meta, on Facebook and Instagram, is when women click one of our Boudoir Facebook ads, dude, for the next 24 hours, they're getting hit with 20, 30 Boudoir Facebook ads from all of our competitors on Facebook and IG for the next 24 hours. And we can test this we go engage with a few Boudoir Facebook ads in our city. Dude, we'll be swamped with Boudoir Facebook, click on them, click the link, go to the landing page, stay there for a little bit, just, interact with an ad, someone who's interested in it. Dude, we'll get swamped with Boudoir Facebook ads in the next 24 hours. And guess what? Half of those, all broad messaging, not specific. So they're forgotten. They don't remember. The women don't remember those ads 1 second after they scroll by. The other half, everyone's copying the same templates. So nobody's standing out. And honestly, the women just literally just get sick of seeing the same thing over and over. It's just like brain numbing or dulling. So 5% is we're specific, we'll stand out. But 95% we gotta get punch one, punch two correct is we'll be correctly specific to a specific woman. And when we are correctly specific, we are a market of one. We're literally seen as the only option, which collapses the sales cycle, literally collapses the sales cycle. They'll buy faster and they'll pay a higher price. Think of the dentist story that we just had. Imagine if all the dentists I called for my tooth pain, they said, dude, we only do 6-month checkups, 6-month teeth cleanings. And then there's one dude, literally one dude in the whole city, literally only one dude we can reach with our tight schedule that said, oh yeah, dude, I solve tooth pain. Kind of most often happens when people are eating. That's kind of when they noticed it the most. Guess what, dude? We're signing up ASAP, collapsing the sales cycle. We're paying a ton more money, higher price, because they were correctly specific. So we want to get specific to stand out. We want to get correctly specific to be seen as a market of one. So do we have a story slash narrative here? Right, the movie scene of our women's current life? No. So we're missing that. So fewer women speaking, or fewer women feeling like that we're specifically for them, which means fewer women are going to consider us, fewer women are going to purchase from us, and most importantly, fewer women are going to consume the rest of our ad copy. And this is where women get pre-qualified. So we're having fewer women get pre-qualified, resulting in fewer qualified leads, fewer qualified appointments, more ghosting, more price hunters, more price objections, more flaking, more tire kickers, ultimately resulting in less sales, lower revenue, fewer conversions, lower ROAS from tranche one women, all feeds back into the meta ad algorithm. Ad then goes to lower quality meta profiles for tranche two, which have a lower kind of global account level conversion rate. So we're spending the same on ads each day, but we're getting less and less sales over time, which again feeds back into the meta ad algorithm. We're going down the downward spiral of despair, going to worse and worse profiles over time. Convert at a lower right end, we're less with the right fit for them. Same ad spend, lower, lower, lower results over time. Ads dying out, ads burning out, refresh creative. All right, the third and final thing we need in the body copy is our full offer. That's because the number one purpose of our ad is to provide the correct context to the correct woman, and then at the end, give her our offer when she knows we're talking to her. That's the number one purpose of our ad. And we always want it in the ad copy because, unique CTR link, clicking over to the web page, if we have the offer over there, is, 1%, one out of 100. But reading the ad copy, dude, I can get that up 6 to 9%, maybe 10%. Maybe get 10 out of 100 women. So to see the offer in the ad copy. So that's literally 10x more women exposed to the same offer if we just put it here in the ad copy versus the sales page. And what do we think? Do we think we're going to get more? Are we going to get more sales if 10x more women are exposed to our offer for the same ad spend? Yeah, probably. Probably. All right, so let's see. Do we got a full offer here? Actually, this ad is mostly all full offer. Literally starting from the first sentence. Of limited edition Boudoir series, boom. Great for women ready to feel everything. Powerful, sensual, bold, passion. Here we go. Feel everything. These are positives. We got to get these up in the See More headline. Well, we got to get the ones that test best up top in the See More headline. These are the positives I was talking about. The third specific attribute of the See More headline. Right there. Do they want to feel powerful? Do they want to feel sensual? Do they want to feel bold? Do they want to feel passionate? We got to get these in the See More headline. More specific. Through intentional lighting. Okay, solution. Offer $95 and $11.95 value. Okay, here we go. I like this. What's included? I like seeing this, the list of this stuff. Personal hair and makeup included. Complete wardrobe guidance for it. Okay. Present, got it. Boom. Full posing. Hey, this could be a hesitation slash roadblock that we could put in the scene. We could rewrite it and have it be a hesitation slash roadblock. That's important. Boom, boom. Clothing, yep. Color noise up into the light. Let us show you what your passion looks like. Offer limited time. Cool. All right, so awesome. Yeah, we got our full offer here. So guess what we're gonna, we'll talk about this a little bit more. So we're on mistake number 8. We'll talk about this phenomenon a little bit more on mistake number 9, but so we're not making mistake number 8. Mistake number 8 will be not having the offer here. But since we do have it here, we're having more of the right women click through and all of the wrong women clicking on buy, or scrolling on buy, not clicking, which we'll talk about more in potential mistake number 9. So it's good. So we're going to have more women are pre-qualified, more qualified leads, more qualified appointments. And that means we get fewer price hunters, fewer price objections, fewer tire kickers, less ghosting, less flaking, which ultimately gives us more sales, more revenue, more conversions, higher ROAS from the tranche 1 women. All that data goes back into the meta ad algorithm for tranche 2. And our ads go to higher quality meta profiles, aka we unlock meta profiles with just a higher standard conversion rate, which means same ad spend, more sales, more revenue, more bookings for this tranche 2 over time. And that better data feeds back into the meta ad algorithm again. And our ads sustaining and scaling, going to higher quality meta profiles over time that we need to unlock. Those are the most precious meta users. So, they're worth the most. Meta really needs to keep them on the platform. So literally only the best pinnacle of best ads that are A, super relevant, and B, actually the best of the super relevant ads are shown to them. And they convert at a higher rate. So these are kind of the whales that we got to get to, but we only get to them by eliminating all these top 10 mistakes. So ad sustains and scales, scale the business. All right, the final 2 mistakes can happen here at the below the creative. We're on mistake number 9 now, or potential mistake number 9. And below the creative, it is always a mistake for mistake number 9 to have any text or buttons below the creative. 3 reasons why. So text under the creative, button under the creative. 3 reasons why it's always a mistake is reason number 1 is that any below creative headline and text and buttons ties into mistake number 1, looks like an ad. So this is 5% of the reason for mistake number 9. There's no organic post, no person posting their dog with a below creative headline or description underneath or a button. These are all ad attributes. So not having the ad attributes makes it look less like an ad, which means less women scroll by, more women consume the ad copy. Better for our ad metrics, ad conversions, tranche 1 data going back into the meta ad algorithm. All right, reason number 2 for mistake number 9 is 15% of the reason for mistake number 9, and it is this newsfeed psychology. When women, scrolling fast, TikTok brain, scrolling fast. By the time they get here and, their eyes are maybe, looking at this here in the bottom left, their subconscious has processed maybe a quarter to a third of the words up here, transformative, light shadow, passion, capture, but their eyeballs are here. So if what they just read and scrolled past, but has now surfaced in their brain is different than what is here, it's going to trigger the error detection network in the brain. Triggering the error detection network in the brain signals error, incongruent, keep scrolling, confusing, keep scrolling. And this all happens automatically. No woman is actively thinking about this. So that's if the text is not perfectly aligned. But even if it is perfectly aligned, still makes it look more like an ad. So it's always a mistake to have any text below the creative. Always. Reason number 3, which is 80% of the reason for mistake number 9, that's a big one that kind of tied into when I was talking about our offer, getting the wrong people to scroll on by, is having stuff below the creative allows women to click here the text or click here the button to actually go to the next page of our ad before, or basically without being forced to click dot 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 see more, read our full ad copy, become pre-qualified, and then click after that. AKA we get a ton of unqualified clicks. Here's why that's a problem. When the meta ad algorithm is deciding who to send our ads to next, it's pulling from a few different data sources to kind of bias it or guide it or direct it. Basically, a few different pools of data. The pool one, first pool is ad converters. Who's converted on this ad already? And what Meta does is basically goes find all their profiles, shakes out kind of all the profile data points, and there's over 1 million for each profile, shakes them out into our pool, finds among everyone that is converted, hey, what are the common data points here that these people got? Or 96% the same, this bunching of data points, these attributes. And then it biases the meta ad algorithm to go find more meta profiles that have 86% of these similar data points in their profile, or 72% or 94%, some high percentage, because higher likelihood these people will convert. So that's fine, that makes sense. That's pool one. But pool two is where the problem is. This pool is all the ad clickers. And the problem with this one is it's normally 10 to 50x, 10 to 50 times larger than pool one. And guess what? If all women are, they ain't reading nothing, they think it's a lingerie store, they click and learn more, and they come to our page, our ad page. Oh, I thought it was a lingerie store. They click out, they leave. Well, their data is being pasted into pool two. And same with pool two, it's looking for, hey, what are the most common data points between everyone here who's clicking? These ads are relevant to them, getting people to take an action, so it's a good user experience. But most of these people, nearly all of them, are unqualified. There should be very, very tiny number of qualified people when we're getting super specific that click on our ad. But guess what? We're biasing the ad algorithm to go towards the next meta profiles that have data points, 98%, 93%, 82% of the similar data points as our pool two, but our pool two is unqualified prospects, which means we're biasing the ad algorithm to go to future, also unqualified prospects. What a waste of money. What shows up in our ad doing worse and worse over time. So that's mistake number 9. And then mistake number 10, I don't know if we're making it here, but mistake number 10 is always, is the objective. Using the lead objective is always, always, always a mistake, but it's the most common objective I see boudoir photographers use. The lead objective is always, always, always a mistake because when we choose an objective, we're basically telling Meta, hey, we're targeting the city, but we chose our objective for lead, so go find the 6% slice of audience in our city who have a 95th percentile probability of filling out a lead form and, engaging, responding, filling out a lead form of an ad that has these keywords in it of our ad text. Because yes, Meta does have an AI text scanner to determine context. And the keywords in our ad correspond to keywords on people's meta profiles, and the keywords on people's meta profiles come from 3 locations. Number 1, what they're searching on Meta, Instagram, and Google. Yes, they all share data. Number 2, keywords on other ads they've interacted with on Meta platforms. And the largest one, kind of data source 3, is literally just using the microphone of our Facebook and Instagram app to always listen to us, even if the apps are closed, even if the apps are off, and even if we're not on the phone with anyone, just having our phone near us. Meta is always sucking in, copying, pasting those keywords that we're saying onto our Meta profiles, which is why, we talk about stuff and then we see an ad for it on Facebook or Instagram same week. That's why. And so the leads objective, we're saying, hey, I gotta go find people that fill out lead forms and, some weighting to these keywords I got in my ads. But the problem is we're saying getting our ads to lead form filler outers. And the problem is who we're not getting our ads to. We're not getting our ads to lead form filler outers who also answer our calls, texts, or emails. We're not getting our lead forms to lead form filler outers who answer, could call, show up to a call. And we're not getting our ads to go to lead form filler outers who fill out a lead form and also buy. Now, yes, there's going to be a small dusting of peeps that fill out a lead form and answer calls, texts, and emails, and even smaller dusting that yes, they fill out a lead form and they do book a call, show up to a call, and even tinier dusting still that yes, they fill out a lead form and yes, they do buy. But dude, the percentage is so small. If we just think of all the leads that we get from lead forms or lead objective, do most of them buy or do most of them not buy? Nearly everyone does not buy, right? And the reason for this is when our ads are going to the 95th percentile, highest chance of filling out the lead form, that means these meta profiles' dominant behavior is filling out lead forms, which is one of these 6 dominant behaviors. Which means if their dominant behavior is filling out lead forms, that means one of their not dominant behaviors is being a buyer. So that's not the nature of their profile because that's not how they behave. AKA, lead form filler outers are non-buyers. Now, yes, there'll be the tiny dusting that does fill out the lead form and buy, but overwhelmingly they are non-buyers. So, we're getting the $1, $1.50, $2.50 leads, filling up our email list with non-buyers, which screws up the rest of our business, all the steps in the funnel afterwards, because we're wondering, man, why am I not getting any sales with my emails, my texts, my calls? Am I saying the wrong stuff? Did I call them too early, too late? Was I too aggressive, not aggressive enough? Does my offer stink? And guess what? No matter what you do, those people are never going to buy, even if you got the perfect emails, texts, follow-up, phone calls, offer, website, reviews. They're never going to buy because they're non-buyers, because that's what we told Meta to go to. We told them to go not to the profiles that dominant behavior is buying. We told them instead to go to the profiles where the dominant behavior is filling out a lead form. So it screws up the entire rest of the business every step after because we're second guessing everything. And also, let's say we're getting dollar leads, spend $100, get 100 leads, we get 1 sale. Okay, 1% conversion rate, $100 CAC, $100 CPA, cost per acquisition, customer acquisition cost. Let's say we go to buyer, a buyer objective. We get $20 leads. It literally costs us $20 more to get a lead, but we convert it 1 out of every 2. So $40, we get a conversion, we get a buyer. Our CAC, dude, literally our CAC, our CPA, just went down by 60%, aka our ROAS, our efficiency of our ad spend, our ROI, our profit on our ad spend. We just 2.5x the profit of our ad spend by just focusing on buyers. So cheap leads are the biggest, dude, one of the biggest mistakes I see boudoir photographers making with their ads. The leads are cheap because no true marketer that understands advertising wants to reach them because they're non-buyers. They're not worth anything. So we want to get in front of the most expensive leads possible because the conversion rate always makes up. The conversion rate always makes up. It's always higher than, the percent increase in lead cost. Always makes it up because we've gotten more specific. And we're going to the right people. And then, guess what? Then we can figure out the follow-up emails, texts, phone calls, offer. Because we're calling the people that we know we're going to buy. So we're not flustered afterwards, thinking everything's broken when it might be fine. We're just calling in the non-buyers. So those are the 10 mistakes. Let's score this ad. We'll compare it to the rest of the Boudoir Facebook ads industry. All right. First thing is look what I can add. Okay, mistake one. Missing a who, missing a negative, missing a positive, missing a hesitation slash roadblock, missing an authority hook, missing a story slash narrative. We got our offer. We got below creative headline and button. Then half mistake on the objective. So we are at 8.5 out of 10 mistakes. The average for the boudoir industry is 8 out of 10 mistakes. So yeah, right around the average. We're not really out competing anyone in our city. And I consider all boudoir Facebook ads that have more than 2 out of 10 mistakes to be breaking down boudoir Facebook ads, simply because I know they're going to be performing worse and worse over time because they're guaranteed to be entering the downward spiral of despair. So we got breaking down boudoir Facebook ads. And, if we got a breaking down car that's also performing worse and worse over time, where the heck do we bring the car? We bring it to a car mechanic. So similarly, we got a boudoir Facebook ad mechanic offer today. So, if your boudoir Facebook ad is performing worse and worse, going down the downward spiral of despair, and has these mistakes, the exact mistakes I talked about today, and you want to get these fixed, scale the business, be the most popular boudoir photographer in your city and your friend group, have everyone dying to be around you, meet you, get advice from you, scale the business, have your dream business without, reading 10 years of marketing, without testing so many systems, without trying to create your own system, then yeah, I got a boudoir Facebook ad mechanic offer for y'all today. Kind of two different options. First one is a pay per root cause problem solved option for one ad. And I basically take the top 10 mistakes, smush them into 5 root cause problems, and then charge per root cause problem solved. So I can do that in next 20 seconds, give a quote. Okay, is it looking at an ad? Yes, that's root cause problem 1. Next, we got see more headline. We need 4 out of 4 specific attributes. We got 0 out of 4 in the see more headline. That's root cause problem 2. Body copy, we need 3 out of 3 sections. We got 1 out of 3 sections. That's root cause problem 3. And below creative headline and button, got to get rid of those. That's root cause problem 4. And objective root cause. Well, we'll have half a root cause problem for that one. So the top 5 root cause problems causing ads to die out, burn out, get low quality leads, low quality prospects. We got 4.5 out of 5, and I charge $50 per root cause problem I solve on one ad. And yeah, you can take the fixes that I put and copy them to all your other ads, or duplicate all your ads and put the duplicate with my fixes, or run both ads, and then turn off the one that performs worse. And you can choose from the minimum, the small, 1 root cause problem for me to solve, or up to 4.5 out of 5, the maximum for me to solve. The maximum would be 4.5 times 50, so $225 for one ad. Or option 2 is the much, much, much higher value option, which is I'll fix all the mistakes in all your boudoir Facebook ads and create as many new boudoir Facebook ads as you want for $100 a month. Flat fee, no contracts, month to month, cancel anytime, and you can collab with me for as much or as little as you want. And yeah, for both these options, I do all the work. It's done for you. And once you decide which one you want to work on or which option you want, hit me up. You got my phone number, you got my email, and whatever social platform we're on, you can hit me up on here as well with a DM. So once you decide, hit me up. I'll ask you what you got for me, and we'll go from there. All right, that's everything. Adios.